It's me again, sadly. I totally apologize you have to watch all this bullshit by me if you happen to be watching, because I never intended for this to be watched by anyone, basically. I'm just bored from coronavirus. Yeah. I'm still on the 4th day of my self-quarantine from my trip to Massachusetts. And I am right now at Haverford College as one of the affluent students who were previously approved to stay on campus, but we might get kicked out soon-ish. Anyway, today I'm trying to read. I mean, it's my second video because I'm just really bored. Anyway, today is your lucky day because I am going to read a book. Because who doesn't love reading, right? This book is by, oh my god, I forgot his name again. Aeschylus? Okay, never mind. Anyway, this guy is one of the most famous Greek tragedians. And so basically in the Oresteian trilogy, he wrote 3 plays about basically a dad killing his child and then his wife killing him in revenge, but also because like he had sex with other women and stuff, and then his son, in revenge for his father, killed his mother, and that son was put on a trial, and you will see what the result is. So yeah, so Orestes is our main character. So he is son of Agamemnon, which is, you know, the guy who sacrificed his own daughter to win the battle. And okay, Electra, daughter of Agamemnon. I didn't know her. Clytemnestra is the widow of Agamemnon. And yeah, okay, that's basically people that I know of. So for class, I've read the first part and this third part of this trilogy, and I just wanted to read the second part on my own to complete the story. And I just love reading, like reading out loud. I remember in theater class that I took last semester, when we were doing a practice of pronouncing words, our professor told us to imagine, I think it's like we're like jumping between branches or something, and the consonants are like the branches where you land, which, you know, that analogy gives you a way to emphasize the consonants more, and it just sounds more like theater. It just sounds more beautiful to me if you read things that way. So, okay, first, a huge disclaimer. I am doing this totally for my own entertainment, and if I do anything wrong, I'm not gonna take any responsibility. I don't know much about classics. I don't know much about basically any stuff. I just wanted to read to myself and make a video because I am bored. But yeah, if you actually got interested in this book, like please actually do some more scholarly search other than watching my video, because I know nothing. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce the title even. The Kofuri or something? Or the libation bearers. So basically the people who carry the alcohol for ceremonies. Okay, so for the second part of the trilogy, the characters are number one, never mind, that's American Sign Language, another class I'm taking this semester. Okay, so number one is Orestes, son of Agamemnon, king of Argos, and Pylades, which is his friend. Okay, again, I know nothing about the pronunciations, and apologies, but I'm still too lazy to actually check. So, okay, and then chorus of female servants of Clytemnestra. Okay, so in the first part of the trilogy, the chorus was, I believe it was a bunch of senior, like, men. I'm not sure. The chorus used to be, 12 elders of Argos. The chorus in the third part are the Furies, which are the older generation, which are like, of the older generation of gods, who are in charge of vengeance and stuff. Yeah, they conduct violent acts upon those who commit crimes that they care about. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to see who the chorus is in each Greek play. So here the chorus is female servants of Clytemnestra. Okay, the next one. Electra, daughter of Agamemnon. Interesting. A male servant of Clytemnestra. Clytemnestra, widow of Agamemnon. Nurse of Orestes. I'm curious how she's gonna react, because nurses are usually like, as I remember from Romeo and Juliet, like Juliet's nurse, since like I guess the nurses are usually the one who actually raised the kid of like aristocrats, so they are actually the most emotionally connected with a child. So I'm curious that since like as Orestes commit the murder of his own mother, how his nurse is going to react. Aeschylus, Clytemnestra's paramour, and lastly a male servant of Aeschylus. Okay, so the setting is the grave of Agamemnon outside the walls of Argos. It's a low mound of earth, near which stands a primitive figure of Hermes. Orestes stands by the mound. Pylades a little way off. It is early morning. Orestes. Hermes, guide of dead men's souls below the earth, son of Zeus the deliverer, fill your father's office. Be my deliverer. Receive my prayer, fight in my cause. An exile, newly returned to this my land, my home, I seek my native right. Over this mound, not a native speaker, sorry. Over this mound, his tomb. Before my deed is in hand, I call on my dead father to hear, to sanction. He holds out 2 locks of hair. Hair of my head, 2 logs I offer. This to Aeschylus, river of home, who nursed my childhood. Now I am a man. My thanks. This for my grief, my loss, and tears too late. I was not there, dear father, to mourn your murdered body, or stretch the farewell hand as you went lifeless forth. Who is coming? What is this? Women in long black cloaks? What can I mean? More death? Fresh tears to torment our house? Or is my first thought true, that this procession comes bearing libation for my father's grave to appease the powers of earth? Yes, it is that and nothing else. And yes, surely, I see my sister. It is Electra. Electra, wrapped deeper than all the rest in sorrow. Great Zeus, oh, grant me vengeance for my father's death. Be gracious to me. Fight on my side. Come, Pylades. I want to listen to these women and learn why they undertake this sublime rite. Come, we'll retire. Orestes and Pylades step into shadow at one side of the stage as Electra and the chorus enter, carrying bowls and urns which they set down before the grave. Chorus. Bidden we come with offerings to the bed, with mournful, solemn tread. Yet not in outward grief we beat the head, not with pretended pain. The cheek by nails, fresh furrowed, glistens red. New sign of old grief that my tortured brain for years had fed on. No cold, careless show has torn this woven robe to feign anguish in this bared breast, bruised for a loss whose blow leaves life no laughter, pain no rest. Through the hushed midnight house a voice rang clear, and hair stood stiff with fear, as anger burst from sleep, and every ear knew that prophetic tone which warns in dreams and calls this house to hear. From an inner room where women sleep, that groan spoke like a fate. In men who pledged their skill to interpret visions said, inspired by heaven's will, hot indignation lives among the dead, and vengeance waits for those who kill. So we are sent, by her whom the gods hate, here to propitiate you, Mother Earth, to avert the stroke of fate with pious blasphemy, with Clytemnestra's prayer. I fear to breathe such breath into this air. What right can sanctify the ground where blood lies split? O house of suffering, shameful and strange decline to darkness which repels the sun, dark guilt which man abhors, remembering what murders marked your royal line. Time was when one creed ruled the people's mind, reverence for royal power unquestioned, firm as love could bind. Now reverence has resigned her faith, fear has his hour. Success is now man's god, man's more than God. Yet, though the sinner cower long years in the half-light, or flout time's vengeance, save in total night. Yet, when the scale turns, justice holds the rod, and fate flies swift to find and crush the open enemies of right. I'm currently writing an essay about justice and monsters, so I might have to pause and just circle when the word justice or a monster appears, just to collect more evidence. Yet, when the scale turns, justice hold the rod, and fate flies swift to find and rush the open. Okay, I have coronavirus, I guess. I'm I'm fine, I'm just kidding. And fate flies swift to find and crush the open enemies of fright. Where earth, man's patient nurse, has drunk and drunk again, man's blood, in grieving seas the thick unmelted stain, which pleads for vengeance, there the relentless curse waits unforgetful for the guilty soul to teem with foul disease, that nothing can make whole. As virtue's door unsealed is never sealed again, so, though all streams should yield their purity to swell once cleansing flood, their force must fail, their power to purge be vain, for hands that bear the stain of unrequited blood. But I, since heavens gave my town to plunder and my life to chains, far from my father's home am kept a slave. So as necessity ordains, in duty I approve just and unjust, obey because I must, and as I can, control the bitter hatred of my soul, while in my cloak I hide tears for the rule of wrong, sin justified, my heart held rigid with unspoken pains. Electra. Women, you who both serve and order the royal house, since you have come with me to perform the rite of prayer, advise me. What can I say? Look at these pious gifts, offered with them what prayer could please, what phrase or form honor my father's grave. Shall I say I bring this wine, a gift from your wife, my mother, in pledge of mutual love? I have not brazen enough. Still less can I find fit words to bless the pouring of holy oil on my father's earth. The customary send your blessing on those who have sent these rest, and pay their crimes to the full, or, in dishonored silence, as his blood flowed, shall I throw this drink to thirsty ground and go, like one who has cast an abomination forth, hurling the vessel from me, and not looking back again? Friends, share my decision, as at home you share the hate that rules our lives. Do not be secret. Speak your mind without fear of those we fear. Our fate is known to the gods, and, slave we're free, neither you or I can choose or escape. If you have better counsel to give, let me hear it now. Chorus. By your father's tomb, as sacred to me as an altar of God, since you command, I will speak the thought of my inmost heart. Electra. Then speak, and this grave shall witness. Chorus. Utter a solemn prayer, as you pour the wine for those who are loyal. Electra. Whom do you mean? Are any loyal?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Does Electra sound like Alexa? Okay, never mind. Sorry. Alexa is fine.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Right. Chorus. Yourself. And all who hate Aeschylus. Electra. For myself, then, and for you, I shall make this prayer. Chorus. You know the truth, and you can judge your course. Electra. What other ally stands on our side? Chorus. Name in your prayer Orestes too, though he is far away. Electra. Yes, a good thought. I will. Chorus. Next, for the murderers, pray. Electra. What shall I pray for them? Tell me.
Here's something I found
think.
on the web. According to faithlife.com, when we see a brother or sister trapped in sin, we have a responsibility to pray for them.
Tell me, I cannot think. Chorus. That justice of God, or men may find them out. Electra. May judge, condemn, or take revenge? Chorus. Pray simply, let one come to shed blood for bloodshed. Electra. Would not a prayer like that seem impious to the gods? Chorus. Why? Evil for evil is no impiety. Electra. Hermes, herald of gods, guide the world below. Supreme mediator, help! Speak in my cause, and bid the powers of the deep earth, who guard our inheritance, and earth herself, who bears and fosters all living things, and receives from men libation to quicken her seed anew. Bid them receive my prayers. Now for the dead I pour water of purification, and call his spirit. Father, take pity on me, and on Orestes your own son. How shall we two possess our home? We're homeless both, sold by our mother. Her price, Aeschylus, who murdered you. I live like a slave, Orestes, banished, disinherited. They, arrogant, vicious, glitter in the wealth you own. Father, let some good chance bring Orestes here. Oh, listen, answer my prayer. For myself, a pure heart and clean hands, and ways and thoughts unlike my mother's, are my request. So much for us. Next, for our enemies. Let your avenger, Father, appear. Let those who kill taste death for death. Justly. This hope I stake against my enemy's hope, my curse to match their curse, wickedness for wickedness. But to us, be gracious. Send from the depths the blessing we ask, in the name of the gods and of the earth and of the victory of right. Such are the prayers with which I pour these offerings out. Garland them duly with a rain dirge, a paean for the dead. Chorus. Let tears toll for the dead, waste for waste and loss for loss. Now, as the wine is poured to avert the evil day, to shield the faithful head, and hold the curse of blood at bay. Let tears toll for the dead, and loud lament reply. Tears for our lost Lord. Answer the prayer we bring, hear from bewildered hearts our cry. Agamemnon, sacred king. Oh, for a man of strength, a lover of deeds of war, who with avenging spear will bow drown to the body's length, will arm himself and appear, a savior to untie the binding curse of guilt, to pay the ancient score, redeem this house, defy the murderers edge to edge, and hilt to hilt. Electra. The earth has drunk the wine. My father has our offerings. But listen, here's news. In great excitement, she picks up Orestes' lock of hair. Chorus. What is it? I throb with fear. Electra. A lock of hair cut up and laid here as a gift. Chorus. Whose hair? A man's? A young red girl's? Electra. Can you not tell? Look, it's plain. It is plain. Chorus. You are young, we old. Instruct us, please. Electra. None of his kin but I would make such an offering. Chorus. One other owed this duty, she who murdered him. Electra. Yet look! Color, form, texture, all the same. Chorus. What? As what? What do you mean? Electra. As ours, our family is like my own. Chorus. But Could it be Orestes' gift, laid there by stealth? Electra. This hair is most likely his. Chorus. How could he dare to come? Electra. He has sent this log as a gift of mourning for our father. Chorus. Sent? Does it mean Orestes never again can dare to tread his native earth? That moves my tears no less. Electra. Tears? No! A raging sea of gall batters my heart. The iron goes through my soul out of the savage flood that surges here. With her hands on her heart, 2 thirsty drops I could not hold fall from my eyes at sight of this dear lock of hair. I am right. What subject head could claim this royal tress? The murderess never cut this from her head. My mother, she, the mocker of gods, blasphemer of motherhood. Yet to commit my heart to this belief that Orestes, dearer than all the world, has sent this gift to our father. No, it is hope that flatters me. Could this hair but speak some loving message to end my torn heart's wavering, and give one clear command to trample it in the dust if Clytemnestra cut it from her hated head? Or if my brothers join my sad ritual and bring grace to this tomb and honor to Agamemnon's name. The gods require to know what storms toss and torment our journey of life, yet if deliverance lies ahead, a great tree might yet grow out of a little seed. But look, these marks, they're footprints. Here's a second proof fitting the first. They are shaped like mine, and others here 2 sets of prints, his own and some companions. Look, the heels, the tendons clearly outlined, their measurements show the same form, the same proportions as my own. My heart throbs painfully, my thought staggers and dies. Orestes and Pylades come forward. Orestes, make it your boast henceforth that when you entreat the gods to answer prayers, success is yours. Electra. What do you mean? For what present success have I to thank the gods? Orestes. The praise of years are now fulfilled before your eyes. Electra. Do you know my secrets? Well, what name was in my heart? Orestes. I know your heart bursts with one thought. Orestes' name. Electra. What then? What answer is there for me? Orestes. Here I stand. Look for no nearer kin. Electra. This is some snare trap to me. Orestes. If so, I am laying a snare to trap myself. Electra. You choose to mock my misery. Orestes. And mine. My sorrow and yours are one. Electra. Must I, then... Can I call you Orestes? Is it true? Orestes. How slow to know me when you see my very self. Yet, when you saw this lock laid as a son's offering, your heart took wings. You felt you were looking into my face. You traced my footprints, found their form tally with yours, and knew me for your brother. Hold this hair to my head, here, where it was cut. Or see this close here, woman by your hand, woven by your hand, on your loom. Look, it is your hunting scene. Electra looks at Orestes in joyful assurance. He grabs her hand with a warning gesture. Steady! You must not let this joy undo your caution. I know our nearest kin are our worst enemies. Chorus. Dear Prince, precious possession of your father's house, living hope of salvation watered with our tears. Now your stout heart must win your back your father's right. Electra. Dear, dearest face, you have 4 joys in one to me. For I must call you father, and all the love I owe my mother, whom I justly hate, is yours as well. My sister Iphigenia, cruelly killed, her share of love I give you. Last, you are my faithful brother. Your name alone has saved my life here from dishonor. May victory, right, and Zeus supreme stand at your side. Orestes. Zeus, Zeus, behold us, and the deed we undertake. Behold the eagle's brood bereaved, the eagle killed, caught in the net of death, in a cruel viper's coils. Behold lean hunger, tyrannize their helplessness. Their strength half-fledged, daring to claim their father's spoils. Even so, Zeus, look how on Electra and on me, orphans and exiles both. Our father honored you with prayer and countless offerings. If you take our lives, where will you find a hand so liberal in sacrifice? Let the eagle's brood but perish. Where are your messengers, to blazon to men's eyes your mystic certainties? Blast, with your wrath, this regal stock. What pious hand shall grace your shrines with offerings? Then save our house. Raise strength from utter weakness, glory from the grave. Chorus. O children, saviors of your father's hearth, speak low. Someone may overhear, and for mere love of talk, blab to our rulers, whom God grant me yet to see dead, and their flesh vanish in spitting pitch and flame. Orestes. The word of Apollo is of great power, and cannot fail. His voice, urgent, insistent, drives me to dare this peril, chilling my heart's hot blood with recital of threatened terrors. If I should fail to exact fit vengeance, like for like, for from who killed my father, this was the god's command. Shed blood for blood, your face is set like a flint. The price they owe no wealth can weigh. My very life, he said, would pay in endless torment for disobedience. First, he reviewed what things men must perform to soothe anger of spirits of earth. Then, if such anger rise, what plagues break forth, the spreading scab whose rapid teeth eat at the flesh till human shape is gone, the white fungus that flowers upon the scab. But when, he said, a father's blood lies unavenged, and time grows ripe, the neglectful son sees yet more fearful visitations, as, towards eyes that strain and peer in darkness, come the attacking furies, roused by the inherited blood guilt, armed with arrows of the dark, with madness, false night terrors, to harass, plague, torment, to scourge him forth from his city, with a brazen lash, in loathed and abject filthiness. Banquet and wine, grace of libation, he may not share. This was the oracle's word. His father's anger, unseen, bars him from every altar. No man may receive him, or share his lodging. Scorned, friendless and alone, at length, he lies a shriveled husk, horribly embalmed by death. Okay, I'll just... Okay. I have less than 30 pages left. And I've read 10 pages. Okay. I tried. I didn't realize it's actually quite exhausting to the tongue. Oh my god. Oh. Alright. Nice seeing you guys. See you next time. Maybe today, actually, because I am bored.